Esporte Games, bora pro duelo brasileiro valendo vaga em Santiago. Faz barulho pro MIBR!
This squad has been billed as a super team, and so far they have lived up to that moniker, but they are one step away from being able to punch their ticket to Santiago, Chile, to be able to compete for a Masters title. It would be a huge accomplishment for this team. And Mimi, I think, you know, when you look at the players on this squad coming together on this project to make this happen, it just makes sense that they're here right now.
Yeah, it is such a stacked team when you have this double duelist duo of Zekin and Aspas, two of the best in the league, and you round it up with former MVPs as well, one of whom an opportunity as the last Chilean in the tournament to qualify to play at home in front of that crowd he's dreamed of. He could do it today.
E claro, faz barulho também para os seus oponentes, porque hoje é dia de fúria!
The Cinderella story of America's Kickoff. This squad, Furia, came in to this league early on in the beginning of the VCT, and it's been mixed results for the organization since then. Massive change-ups came through. They picked up a squad of hungry competitors from the challenger space, as well as some familiar faces that we've come to know and love throughout the VCT. And now they find themselves here with only just MIBR and Aspas standing in their way.
This roster is full of hunger, full of life. A lot of these players, they've been through turmoil to make it through to this moment. Kowalinu being one of those names, and every single other player kind of fighting through a lot of this Tier 2. EU constantly being bounced around these teams. Yeah. And now they found kind of a home where they can play and prove themselves in the roles that they have.
A very different test here, though. A best out of 5 for two teams that haven't played a huge amount of matches compared to their peers. And I think what's going to be interesting, especially for MIBR, is that thus far, they've only had to show 4 total maps. So we will have to see new looks and see how deep their map pool really is starting today.
Yeah, I think today is going to be a very different look, just because with the rest of the matches that we've seen so far, we've seen a lot of repetitiveness. We've seen teams have to switch it up. Here, it's a brand new day. It's a brand new slate for both of these teams on a lot of these maps. So they're going in not really knowing what to expect. And they also, if they're in their initial showings, they had a lot of time to change things up if they wanted to.
That's the important thing, right? There has been a lot of time from when we last saw both MIBR and Furia on stage till now. That's time that you're spending in the lab. That's time that you're spending, Mimi, putting in that work. Both teams surely are coming to this one prepared, but I am curious to see what that prep work was like for Furia.
I do think it's a lot more difficult because the aforementioned lack of playtime for MIBR. Bind is an opening map. MIBR have never played this thus far. We don't know what comp they're going to play. Neither does Furia. So today, for a young team with rookie players stepping in with a completely new system, with an unproven coach, have to absolutely lock in with the sight reading, with the adaptation against a team of superstars.
Very traditional Bind composition, you know, double duelist, right? Raze, Yoru, you're seeing the Brimstone in there too?
Yeah, no Waylay, which is very surprising.
I actually didn't realize that.
Very surprising, but I'm very happy to see that they are bringing out that double duelist. I feel like you have the assets for it. This is the meta to do it. Might as well just run with it as much as you can.
Yeah, it shows to me that maybe they don't feel super confident in Aspas's Waylay. They played a lot of him on the Raze, which to me is a pretty limiting factor, even given the skill of these players.
Yeah, I really don't mind the Raze, but I do love the Waylay coming in on Furia's side. I think it makes sense. Their play style, their zoomies, the way that they like to kind of just go forward and play really aggressive makes a lot of sense, and especially on these two players.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get this Brazilian showdown started. Send it over to your casters, a couple of pasty Brits, some of my favorites. Here's Brent and Sideshow.
We can't help it, man. I'm a gamer. I don't go outside. Listen, let's get it started with the other bracket grand finals here between these two teams. And as the desk has kindly set us up here, they've teed us up really for the slam dunk finish. And it is that grand finals decider for Santiago. And who we're going to be sending on Americas as that #1 seed.
Yeah, and to think that it's these two organizations, but especially Furia. MIBR have picked things up last year, haven't they? But Furia, nobody expected them to be here. They have had really difficult times with it across the previous years. And even with this roster, the expectations were minimal, and yet what they've done is fantastic to get to this point. They have never, as an org, been one win away from making it to a global event. Never mind having qualified to get to one.
Absolutely. They've had an unbelievable run in America's Heart. It's been historic, really, in the region. There's not many teams that have had a run like it.
But here's the real test.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, can you take down a super team on the other side?
That's the biggest hurdle, right? Because the final boss is sitting on the other side of the stage. And Aspas, no slouch, obviously, used to playing in these BO5s.
Playing up in A heaven at the beginning here, as the rest of his team stacks over towards B, giving Aspas the responsibility to lob a grenade in and pop off a couple of shots.
Refract popped off. It's going to be fading soon enough. Alam's going to be finding it to get too much done from this spot.
And not going for the shorty buy, going for the bandit with the saturate as well, trying to catch somebody with a hinder. But nobody playing close to garden. Throughout this map pool, you will see so many times where the teams are going to be unfamiliar with what the other is showing them.
I mean, this is it, right? Case in point for MIBR, they've shown no footage, honestly. Maybe a major advantage for them.
Could be.
But they haven't really shown too much whatsoever. They kind of glided their way into this position. What was it, 5 maps played for them?
Yeah, the least maps so far in kickoff for MIBR.
Nade actually misses there from Aspas, but it does a job, honestly. It just pushes back the plan for a couple of crucial seconds, buying time for MIBR to now get into position. But they don't have any control of showers, nor backside.
This is where Furia, though, tend to peek and look for kills.
Snakebite's going to be laid down early enough. That there's a small pocket to play in, and Zekken will capitalize quickly. Mazzino follows up with another one. Haunts into the back, reveals quite a lot. Koala Noob pressed into a corner, yet still batters his way out. Despite being stuck, EU rapid fire, unloading the clip, seeing if he can get a couple of lucky shots. It's happened to the defuse. Wincon's earned. Verno! Can't stick it all the way through. Furia lock up a pistol round nice and early.
MIBR had the read there that Furia was going to be playing inside of the smoke. Verno's sat inside the smoke waiting to defend. And yet it's just pot shots coming through. The double sheriffs doing so much work there for Furia. It looked really bad for them, right? I think this is a 3v5 technically that they recover. EU hit some gorgeous shots up there.
Yeah.
The sheriff purchases in general have been nasty good on pistol rounds. And Furia have been powered by pistol round wins. They're 12-5 in pistols in kickoff so far.
12-5.
Isn't that crazy?
It's ridiculous. I mean, granted as well, there's been arguments made, right, that Furia haven't quite been tested yet in terms of the path that it took to get here in our upper bracket grand finals. Koala Noob happy to feast though, and he's one of our players we've been keeping an eye on, because I think Furia, if you were to define their style, I think it's largely built around Koala Noob. How proficient that guy is with the scoped weaponry in particular.
Yeah.
Marshal, outlaw, operator, whatever it might be.
You know, Alim actually had an interview before kickoff where he said he was asked what the meta was. And usually people tend to discuss the meta in terms of agents, right?
Yeah.
And instead he said it's a scope meta.
It's interesting.
I'd never heard somebody say that in Valorant before. I mean, even when we had Chamber in 2022, people were saying it's a chamber meta. They weren't saying it's an op meta necessarily, but yeah, when you look at Koala Noob and he's the second biggest player in Americas in terms of using the outlaw and the op, and then 4 other players on the team are using outlaw op as well.
They're perfectly willing to take turns using it.
Or 4 players in total, I should say. It's only Nerve that hasn't picked up a scoped weapon so far for Furia.
Big group up here towards B long that sees. LM willing to double dash onto it to see if he could get a quick punish, but not much going for him. Peeling back.
It is really dangerous, though, to contest B long. If you're MIBR, you're worried about getting hit by a saturate. Can Zekken find a pick here?
Yeah, this off angle. His shoulder's just peeking out. Nerve potentially spotting him. Forces the TP at least.
A really good awareness from Nerve.
Yeah.
The off angle looked good from Zekken. And Aspas has taken a chunk there from Nerve as well. Knocking off both of the HP bars for the MIBR duelist duo.
Chipped down over time slowly. No kills claimed. 45 seconds on the mark. Could be some fuel in the tank.
This is looking good for a bonus conversion, though, to be honest with you. I mean, I know they're going into a stacked site, but the health advantage is so big.
Depends what Tex can do here. The snakebite again, pushing them back. It's going to be an exchange of that util on either side of it. A spam potentially into the corner. Tex is finished off. Stimmy's going to be dropped down, sees to layer it on top, and these are just kills through the smokes that are being combined and out. Through the back of the site, Verno is caught.
Plant a spike.
Now the plant will go down with barely a bit of time to spare there, but player advantage still here for Furia. You predicted it, Josh. It was looking like that bonus conversion. Even more likely now.
16 HP on Aspas. He'd have to be so clean with this kill.
Yeah.
And that's if they even have a hope. They don't look like they're playing for it.
They don't want to take it, no.
3v4, they're choosing to save the guns instead.
Risky business. Aspas doesn't even get it out with his own weapon here, and I think that signals. Definitely so. Kuala Noob is on the hunt immediately. He's 2 away from the ult, and he would love these kills, take the guns out of their hands. He'll go down.
Even the death is great, though, because he's 1 away from getting up to his dimensional drift. And the next round, MIBR have got a choice of either forcing around the 2 rifles that they've saved, in which case Kuala Noob can destroy them with a good Yoru ult, and their economy's broken again, or they're going to have to piece together some really odd kind of half-buy round where Zekken and Mazzino want to save the guns again because they don't really have the loss bonus.
Yeah.
I mean, this round was such a stutter step, pump fake kind of approach from Furia. They never hard committed.
Go, bro. I just spammed 2 people. It's the Renegade Rusco Phantom.
I don't know if it's a skin, but...
so they've chosen not to force around the 2 rifles they saved. But here's my point. Look at Zekken's money here.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Straight down into the bin. Kuala Noob as well is digging deep. He's been keeping track all tournament long, honestly. One of the better players and one of the better teams, Furia, are making sure that they can abuse the Outlaw as much as humanly possible.
Absolutely.
That's what they were talking about with it being that scoped meta.
Yeah. They pick up the Outlaw a ton. I mean, Kuala Noob's picking it up. EU's picking it up.
Zekken.
Alim as well.
Zekken. Half armor.
My ult's ready.
Easy pickings. Kuala Noob now asserts himself over towards Showers. He's
that's the rifle.
Carved up control, and yeah, that was realistically the danger play. It could be retrieved. It is. Wow.
Just yoinked. Completely yoinked. That's MIBR trying to make a play there with the smoke to retrieve the rifle. And as Aspas goes fishing inside the brim smoke, he's like, where'd he go?
Where's he gone? Where's he gone? Ripped up, though. That's Tex off onto that angle. He's already dropped down Alim. Slow going affair here. MIBR don't have much in terms of the way Util. Verno does. Still, that TP is going to be called for. That was that Shower's control early and out of dimensional drift. Spots it out into the corner. Attempted a body block by Kuala Noob. You're seeing it. Mollies and nades flying forwards. Anything to delay the inevitable here, which is that push forwards. Mazzino, that's a critical kill. And now asserting and dominating control over towards Labs here. MIBR making sure that they're ingrained. Hard to remove. 20 seconds left. Spike's only just being reclaimed. Plant now down. Nerve going for it. That's a seize and an orbital strike, and Nerve will have to give up his life for the cause. Anything to extend this round out, but it's now a 2v4, and this thrifty conversion is looking more and more likely. MIBR slow going. Making moves with the Bucky in hand. It's Aspas wiping Kuala Noob off the map. I'm not sure towards the end.
I'm not sure you call it a signature weapon for Aspas, is it? The Bucky, but it gets the job done at the end there. What a round from Mazzino too. Dropping the spike on that swing short is the pick that makes all the difference for the defense. Because up until that point, it was not looking good for them. But being able to drop that spike, a seize ult combo, to make sure you pick off another as time gets low for Furia, and finally MIBR get rid of the goose egg and get on the board. Nice little kill on Alim over there off camera too.
Definitely so. These type of rounds are the rounds you're going to get pretty often with a squad like MIBR. Quality and veteran presence is just brimming, right? I mean, it's custom built around Aspas. A team that was made to really lift trophies, and you see it in moments like that where, even if it's a half-buy, they still played all of their rounds.
And they get saved a bit from the economical situation that they were in.
Could have been really poor.
Well, Kuala Noob's picked up an attack side up here, and the approach is slow. You know, they're really feeling out the map before they commit anywhere. You'd expect MIBR to start getting a read onto this. Boombot goes out over towards Showers as both duelists are playing there. Kuala Noob on a very passive angle towards short right now as his team prods again towards B long. Same game plan coming out from Ardzin's calling. Can Kuala Noob find somebody info peeking into him?
That's going to get spotted though.
It's great info.
Yeah.
You know that they have an op, you know where the op is.
Immediate smoke placed down. Reposition from a few of the MIBR players, and Showers has not been contested this whole time. Zekken, very deep, double dash now by Alim up towards the top, but he realizes that was a poor fight to take, so he pulls back to safety critically for MIBR this time. They do have all control over towards Showers.
They're looking to pivot B.
Yeah, pushed back. Molly, satchels, anything to deny that this plan could be going down. It's all down to Verno. will be falling into his lap. What can he do from a spot like this? He plays up close. Tight tuck to the corner. Flash goes wide. He gets his one, gets the second, and almost controlling for the third there. It was a scrappy situation, but he buys enough time. Texas in there, straight into the fight. The heads are rolling on either side. Still time is of the essence, and that's the important, critical factor. 6 seconds remaining. The spike needs to go down. His kills need to be found, and Texas has already done the work. It's a round found for him. The job is done. MIBR get that second one on the board.
And what a play from Verno. Again, though, requiring a hero moment for MIBR. They're the team under pressure right now, but they are delivering. Round 4 and 5 goes their way, and Verno coming up with a big play. Tucks himself underneath here, and first kill's clean, second kill is chaos.
Yeah.
Could have very easily there only ended up with a 1-on-1, which wouldn't have really given Tex the time to play in off the back. And now the op switches sides. Zekken picking that one up from the bottom of the scoreboard, hoping to pick up his own impact too in this game.
I've liked what I've been seeing from MIBR. The few maps that we've seen, honestly, with their double duelist.
Yeah, we haven't seen it much.
No.
They will be playing the majority of this series on double duelist, though, based on the maps in the pool.
It's a lot of pressure. What? Okay, gets away with murder, dare I say. Hard to hit a target like that. The C's to the side, of vulnerable up, and well, okay, they are corralled into a corner nevertheless. So listen, rest of MIBR will be happy to help out with the rifles.
Yeah. Zekken relying on his teammates there to bail him out of a bad situation, but again, Verno's impact is utterly enormous.
Yeah.
Grabs one and seizes everybody else.
I mean, it's just insanity as well. The trajectory of Verno's career as a player, because he's, you know, you look at him the way he came in, wasn't particularly vocal. At least when it came to the on-camera interviews. In game, I think he is actually quite vocal, so.
Yeah.
Talking out my ass a little bit there.
Well, but just in terms of how he was removed from that NRG roster initially as well.
Yeah.
It was very weird, his beginning to Tier 1 Valorant.
You know, talking to Fraud speaks very highly, obviously, of Verno, I think, as well, and has put a lot of development into him as a player so that he can be a real consistent caller for them, but whilst not sacrificing his individual play. That's the most impressive part to me, I think, is that he is a really young IGL, but it hasn't really affected his stat line.
No, Verno, in fact, is easily the highest fragging IGL that we have in America's Kickoff. And even if you just extend that broader, he had a slight dip in form towards Stage 2 last year, but every other period of the year, he was frying, honestly. I played fantastic, even at Toronto, when the rest of his team was falling to pieces around him. So no, he's been extremely, extremely impressive. And started to get the right adaptation here, too. They're not really biting on the early... Yeah, just might have missed that off camera, but Nerve does go down, not able to save the gun. Backpedaling hit onto Alem. Now, there's definitely some luck involved in that one. But the way he gets out of dodge and then throws the C's back in, this round is all him.
I got a Pokemon.
Excuse me?
Was that an aid flying? Is that what it was?
I guess he's like...
Threw the ball out?
Normally when you throw the ball out, the Pokemon appears. It doesn't, like, you don't...
Well, you might have caught one. He said he got one.
Oh, right.
And he caught a kill.
Okay.
If you consider catching them, turning them into pink mist, the back wall, I see what he was cooking.
Okay.
Timeout for Furia.
Fair enough.
It's 3-3. For Furia, I think they're going to be challenged pretty hard in a series like this. I mean, the desk was definitely talking about it. You know, they're relatively new roster in terms of their expectations for themselves. They still think of themselves as the underdogs. I think they've been powered by that hard, but yeah.
They definitely think they're the underdogs in this game. We heard it from EU before the match began. He's in an interview saying, MIBR are the super team. MIBR are the ones with the pressure on them. They're expected to do, you know, win kickoff, win international events, all of that kind of stuff. And we just have to see if we can beat them. But I think that's a good attitude to have to some degree, because
yeah, me too.
You put the pressure on your opponents, you put all the expectations on them, and you play loose and free. In this game, though, they've been poking and prodding around the map. MIBR haven't been baited into any early engagements, and now they're just playing to heavy anchor the sites and flood defend. And I think that's a really nice adjustment.
I'll find you.
Fury have got to change up what they're up to, maybe increase the tempo, but they get whacked early. There goes Squala Noob on a light buy.
The benefits of playing Yoru. You could play like that.
MIBR throwing in one of their first small pieces of defensive aggression. Normally they've been playing really tight. Not really going for stuff like that, but coming out of attack timeout is a great time to swap stuff up.
You can anticipate a Zekken is Sat here? Maybe not.
Finding out where the ops are on defense is very challenging.
Yeah, it definitely is. The Prowler doesn't catch much for be long. That will force the issue though. Zekken will be able to fight that one. There's a smoke to play in. Tossed over towards the top. That's Allen in there with the shorty. He's ult's been expended potentially. Yes, aspas would be able to showstopper. This is carnage now occurring because close quarters is what is being forced into when the smoke's in your face. Furia! They're finding it. Targets acquired, and so is the site. Plant down. Fast and loose by MIBR. Still potential chances, but no, it's all contained by Alim. Watching the extremities as that pit just blossoms out and leaves it down to Tex.
You'd have to find some unbelievable timings here, and Alim looks like the first challenger.
There it is. Shot to the head is clean enough. That's a Bucky, not the rifle, but might do the job anyway. But as a tap, he's trying to force these players out wide into the open. What a round by Furia.
And it's EU 10-2 that closes things out. All of those smokes just stopped MIBR from being able to hold a single crossfire.
Yeah.
And it made the lighter weaponry of Furia way better in that round too. That's the kind of stuff you can do when you have a Waylay, I think. But it wasn't even the Waylay engage that was necessarily the biggest portion of that.
No, I mean, they came into it with double Buckies.
Yeah, look at the smokes just scattered all around the site. One on top.
Good shit!
One on top of the tube, one on the left side. So much stuff for them to be able to play around. Good adjustment there from both teams. MIBR in the early round and Fury once they hit the site.
He's over the top. That's off a read, presumably, but it goes a miss. Seizing the orbital strike, hoping to catch Showers players. Aspas will go down regardless. Want to push towards it. That's convergent pass into the back. Look at the slowdown MIBR. Trying to scurry away from these bullets. They have no control of Showers, no control of backside. Smokes keep mounting. That molly rebounds and does push back the plant.
Patient play from Furia. MIBR still locked out of the site for the moment too.
And retaking with an op is going to be even harder.
Portal closed.
Second's going to wait for this sight line to open up. And there it is. And the strike's going to be soon enough. That off angle by EU. Whoa. It is whiffy business. Kills eventually found anyway. The molly no timing. Verno's forwards, and this guy, he's like the Terminator in terms of how he's locking onto those angles. Will get traded out quickly enough, and the issue still lies here. Retaking by the operator is hard task all around. Zekken does not want to play for it.
As clean as Verno is with his aim, EU is just as good for Furia. He's been lasering people down in those kind of moments, and he's on the hunt to try to get rid of this op from Zekken's hands. MIBR are going to be hard-pressed to keep this into the next. EU slowed down for a moment, actually.
Yeah, he doesn't want to push it.
Yeah, didn't want to go for the over-push into spawn. But they are getting onto A-site very easily here, I've got to say. MIBR are playing off-site for retake a ton. And maybe that's because they couldn't play around that bench area at the start of the round with the C's orbital strike coming through.
Yeah.
So you know that they're not playing heavy over towards bench. Showers, you get in. At best, they're holding backside, but a second timeout. Oh, sorry, first timeout here being used for MIBR.
There's definitely some adjustments that they need to make. I mean, you've already been pointing it out, I think. Over towards the A site, if they didn't have Showers control, which in that case, right, Fury have got a bit of a read that if they lose Showers, then it's pretty free, to be honest. They're not holding onto that backside control too much.
Another really crucial component of that round, though, that we shouldn't understate, is that Aspas got deleted. First pick, swinging around short, bang, there goes Aspas. And he's the kind of player that, if he's the only guy anchoring the site, he'll sometimes give you one or two that completely change how the round works. And if he does get that opening entry, and it's a 5v4, then maybe you can get defenders start flooding in, and you don't just play retake over towards the A site anymore. But he's currently sat 2-6. Aspas, 2-6.
Yeah.
And Zekken alongside him, 2-4. So the big power duo playing double duelist right now, not really online for MIBR. And the op has been in Zekken's hands, not Aspas's, which makes sense in terms of the agents being played. You want your Yoru to be on that. But it doesn't necessarily make sense in terms of who you would actually want with the weapons in hand.
Yeah, who's more comfortable, because Aspas has been the one carrying that weapon for of the few maps that we've seen of MIBR, right? Which, there's only been 5 maps.
But I just mean across his career as well.
Sure, of course, he's way more comfortable.
He's certainly opted a lot more than Zekken so far in kickoff. Bit used here for MIBR, locking down short. Fury without the tools in terms of ults to really contest that. Could have gone off rip with Alim trying to double dash into it with a hinder, but maybe not quite getting the read here The Tex was going to hard commit in this round with the judge. It's, again, slow pace defaulting from Furia, trying to feel out the map a little bit. But with one of the lanes locked off, it should make it easier for MIBR.
Interesting angle that Aspas is in here towards Hookah. Not the standard off angle, he's like directly in the middle, I think, essentially. Yeah, he is, so. And there it is, rewarded for it.
Staying on it as well.
Yeah. Not removed. Normally you see that reposition happen. That's a shot through the Prowler. Get down, Mr. President. EU survives.
That's ridiculous.
That's insanity. Kuala Lumpur will assert himself over towards Showers now. He's got control of that one. And you see the flash through and around. Shot goes wide. Zekken forced to pull back, but still do have Tex playing with that pit into short, but he's only got a judge to work
30
with.
30 seconds left.
Spike planted.
Stray shots. Operator firing, EU.
He's getting crunched.
Is he going to expect this? The answer's no. That's going to be delivering a weapon straight to the lap of Tex. Happy to pick it up, but doesn't anticipate the quality was already on it. Mazzino quick with the trade. Nerve, though, potential for him to pick this one up. Poking, prodding, Mazzino just baiting the shot out. This is a tricky spot to be in if you're Furia, because you need these kills to go your way. Now it just leaves it into Nerve's hands. Spotted out, finds the one, but Aspas is quick. Finger on the trigger.
Well, Aspas came alive this round. He was 2 and 6, I think I said, to start this off, and now he's 5 and 6 with a big 3K. And all 3 really important kills to be able to find, or at least the first 2 were. Finding that off angle over towards Hookah, deletes the player that peeks him. There goes one of Furia's biggest tools at being able to get into a site, because Alim hits the deck. And then this duel that's happening over towards Lamps as well, this kill, really important onto Artsy, because Zekken's just sat in heaven with an op, he can't really help on the retake. And you have to play Mazzino in from short. Well, Aspas came alive this round. He was 2 and
Round 10, Furia, all grouped up.
Well, they've got an ult to be able to use, haven't they, here?
Yeah, this Dimensional Drift is going to allow them to play a lot faster.
Who's next?
J-Crash gets quite a bit of space, and now you're going to see these ults popped off. Clearing a bit of a path. Aspas put down towards the back, and he hears an abundance of util here. Losing control of Lamps in the process. Hinder's going to go wide. That's a shot to the dome. 10 HP. That's what he's dropped to here. Furia are relentless. Eager to try and lay claim to the back of this side, and bullets into the smoke. Shots in the dark. It's going Furia's way here for round 10.
That's the aggression that you want to see from Furia. Absolute disrespect, bringing it to MIBR. Super team be damned. And this is how they were getting such great victories earlier on in this bracket too. Once they get themselves into a post plant, not being afraid to peek, to challenge, to rely on your aim, which is astonishingly good actually for this roster. When you look at them on paper and compare them to, you know, MIBR, to G2, these kind of teams, Furia have been just straight up winning a lot of fights. In spots like that where they peak, the combo of util into backside, though, to put pressure on MIBR here, lovely.
Yeah, it really is. And astounding stuff as well for Furia. To be able to keep this form going, because expectations were all the way down at the bottom. I mean, you saw just before we got into this game, right? All the community opinions.
Yeah.
But they've been making the most of it, this Furia squad. They are driven, hungry players across the board. Some of them grinding in Tier 2 for the longest time, since essentially the inception of Valorant, right? Talking like 2020, 2021.
In terms of like Nerve, Kuala Nu.
Nerve and Kuala Nu trying to get their shots, and EU himself as well has bounced up and down between Tier 1, Tier 2.
Yeah.
Artisan, after last year's performance, he had a bit of a highlight towards the end at Champs, but he was probably thinking this might be my last chance as well. Going into this year, and then Alim, I mean, this guy's he's an unknown quantity, really. I mean, he's had a meteoric rise. First game played was September 2024. So,
yeah, a bit different story for Alim, isn't it?
But it's interesting, the contrast that you see on Furia, still putting it all together, and they're not being dismayed. Normally you see maybe with younger, inexperienced players, the nerves playing a part. Oh my god, I'm going up against Aspas second.
Doesn't feel like that for Furia,
No, it doesn't. No, they don't care about the names that they're facing.
They should probably care about the weapons they're facing in this round, though, because we've got double Bucky online here. But Aspas and Mazzino, because the weaponry has been... The economy has been under enormous pressure this entire defense half.
There's a combo. That's a great combo off the contact. Nice play to cook up.
Lovely set play, and MIBR have run that twice so far in this map.
Furia might look to speed it up forwards now. Wanting it, hold on. Buckies! Oh, they're delivering. Mazzino and Aspas, they play off each other's contact. Alan, the last one left. Reclaim a rifle, but that might be about it.
I think this is where you get the experience difference happening here. Yeah. Is that MIBR, even when they're under pressure with lighter weapons, they're still so able to craft defensive setups
30 seconds left.
Look like they make a lot of sense. And the way that Aspas is pushing behind the Viper wall there and crunching with Mazzino
taking
short,
that timing is
it's really nice. But Furia still with a guaranteed at least draw in the half, an opportunity in the next in round 12 to push themselves into a 7-5 lead. But MIBR have got a lot of ults, you know. Furia have just kind of been sending them when they have them. We saw a nice ult combo here from MIBR where they throw out the season the orbital strike. But it's been a slow-paced battle of testing each other out, I think, very early on in this best of 5.
Yeah.
It feels like marathon pace.
Yeah, both teams really treating it like that best of 5. You don't want to go all out, spending all your energy too early.
Something that the MIBR players.
They definitely. Yeah, I mean, we were saying earlier, they've been in plenty of best of 5s. Tons of experience on MIBR.
Oh, Aspas has got the operator.
Okay.
So a swap up here. He's got the op and the showstopper, so he's got
close.
An ability to escape.
There's a lot of players as well waiting on the other side of this one. Wall up. He's going to take that time in. He spots it out with that showstopper. Blind fire into the corner. He couldn't see a bloody thing. Prowler did the work. And it evens it out 4-2-4.
I don't know how he didn't do any damage even.
Yeah, it's barely a scratch onto EU. That's just ridiculous stuff.
4v4 in this spot, and MIBR are looking to regain information over towards Hookah. Fury have lost info all over towards Fountain. You can see the pings on the map. They don't know what's going on over there. Instead,
exploration on both sides?
Yeah.
Yeah, both teams just trying to clear up a picture of what's going on. Koala Noob, very heads up.
But does he expect the second? I don't think so. He's thinking that's a solo push from the player that's often been around.
Oh, the timing. Heard noise cues made. He heard the jumping from Artisan. Oh, this could be everything for them. Zekken's got a dimensional drift out. Confirming what Tex already knows. Lurking up behind. Koala Noob, though, might have just done enough damage regardless. And look at that. They're just trying to appropriate himself there onto the right ankle. You're seeing that site is still open for the taking. They are surrounded, though.
Nice flip of the map, actually. Artisan planted on the other side. They can play backside, player advantage spot. Fury are looking quite good here for a 7-5.
And no hesitation for a play like that. Immediately realizing what they needed to do. Flash Zekken. It's on his shoulders alongside Tex. Fury are finding themselves in very strong positions though in this post plant.
If Artisan gets a kill, he has ult, and the round is over.
Koala Noob is going to be pushed out wide there from that, and that's a kill for Tex. Koala Noob out wide to the side. 4 kills, make it 5. And we call that one an ace. Koala Noob. It's a cherry on top for the first half of Bind in this best of 5 upper bracket grand finals. Fury are leading by 2 rounds.
Astonishing way to close things out there. It's got to feel great. He was talking about how he's been in multiple BO5s before and failed. And you're starting it like this? Deletes Verno.
Yeah.
One enemy remaining.
Beautiful work here.
Let's go! First ace of VCT, baby! First ace, baby!
He's just pumped to be here, man. Anyway, we will see you on the other side of things. Do not go anywhere. You know you don't want to miss it.
Red Bull gives you wings.
7-5 here, and it's all to play for in our upper bracket grand finals. A spot to Santiago and a trophy to lift. Furia showed no signs of slowing down. There was doubts at the back of our minds, I think, as well, in terms of how they were going to be doing against this MIBR team, because this is the biggest hurdle they've ever had to clear so far this year.
Oh, yeah.
But so far, so good. Leading by 2 rounds, and the pistol rounds don't seem to be slowing down for them either. We're going to get to find out what happens as well for round 13. We're going to be jumping into that one soon.
Yeah, but when you look at the pistol round win rate, it's 71%, 12-5, like I was talking about earlier for Furia. But do they need to win the pistols? Not really. The only map that they've won that was close in kickoff, they lost double pistol anyway.
Yeah.
So normally they win the pistols, but they smoke their opponents. The pistol round is not what's actually winning things for Furia, but they're getting it anyway here against the Americas super team.
Mixed bag in terms of the purchases here. A couple of sheriffs. Very popular investment these days.
There's a push out down long, wrapping around the back of Tex.
Yeah, Tex has been spotted on top of the box there, I believe, by Nerve.
Yeah, they definitely know that Tex is here in Hoover. And they know that he hasn't left as well. But now Koala Noob doesn't have the gate crash to escape, and he's getting pinched himself from market.
This is a real awkward spot to be placed into because he's trying to take his timing, but okay, players running around towards the back, and there's no way. Okay, it's traded. That was a spike drop down. Tex doesn't want to claim that kill, just spots barely a glimpse of Nerve.
Even though MIBR was seen going back over towards B, Furia have kept 3 players A. They don't believe what they've seen. Maybe making a read into the fact that Verno's a good enough caller to not go for the obvious.
Yeah, and they're willing to contact all the way up here. With Koala Noob down, not worried about somebody holding
30 seconds
a deep
left.
off angle, unexpected, holding that deep information on Furia's side. And so they can save a lot of their util.
Do you have the nerve to contact into B? They're creeping out.
Yeah, they found it. Space over towards the site, cleared out most of it. 14 seconds, Aspas putting to the plan here. The same place, not enough damage to really dissuade him. Did want to get off in a spot like that. Back halls though. How do Furia break out of this one? Util's being primed. Smokes drop down in their faces. Hinder connects. Haunt is better as well. That's going to be spotting out a multitude. Second, 1-for-1, jumping and hopping all around. Mazino finally activates. Pounces on the chance to get involved into the fight. Aspas is going to be seized up. Furia running over them like a wrecking ball, man. And add another one to the tally. Add that one to your spreadsheet. It's another pistol round for Furia here.
It's crazy, the success that they're having. These spots don't look like they should be able to win them. They're coming back in on a retake, completely locked out. I mean, the util is good, right? The Haunt is nice, the Hinder's good to put pressure on Mazino, but then actually Zekken getting one and Mazino battling his way out of that spot puts things back in an uncomfortable territory.
Let's go!
And Nerve has to deliver 2 big kills to close things. Coach Shaw can't believe what he's seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy knows what it is to lose, by the way. He was there when Furia went winless last year in Stage 2. The other guys don't have the generational trauma of Furia, but he does.
And they're looking to rewrite it entirely, but Aspas, that is a hero play and a half. Outlaw was purchased for him. Alan's going to be going hunting now for a couple of kills, but he wasn't anticipating the second. Was close quarters. Flash forwards. EU trying to equalize. Does find himself the 1, and he's hoping for the second, but it's an evacuation cord for. Verno didn't want to take that fight, not with a spike in his hands.
This is really dangerous. Aspas has got an Outlaw to work with. Tex force buying that one.
Yeah.
And 2 of the 3 remaining players with light armor. And this is tough. Nerve could easily get pounced on here from multiple directions. Or just left alone as the rest of his squad gets picked off by the Outlaw. Double Outlaw.
Yeah, it's a very tricky spot, isn't it, for Furia now?
There.
And that Outlaw. We're seeing Prowlers forwards. Question is for MIBR. Still going to go slow going until it's not. Now speeding up a little bit. The smoke's
30
propped
seconds
up.
left.
It's not quite a tap. I mean, listen, Tex is already taking fights over towards Elbow.
Planted.
He's alone taking that, but still EU goes down regardless.
Well, that's a rifle now handed over. It's basically game over here.
It's chalked.
I mean, how could Furia possibly win this round? 2v4 and their players are not in good positions. It'd have to be magic.
As in, he's found himself a gap, and there it is. Former comrade put down. Back to the spectator seat. Sting out and a Spectre. It's not much the work of an elbow. Open sightlines. Shots are missed though. Nerves found it. It's getting whiffy. Wall's going to be going down and the shots go wide. No chances significantly there for Furia, but it's MIBR who handle it all.
Chilean hometown hero Mazzino closes things out in what was almost a missed opportunity there for MIBR, but all right, deep breaths, and they prevail. Of course, this round originally, though,
30 seconds
should have been one that Furia nicely clean up, but this strategy of forcing into the outlaw, knowing that most people are going to be buying high armor.
Dancing, wait, let me dance.
Well, that has got MIBR back into the game for sure, hasn't it?
Yeah, it definitely has. Mazzino, top of the scoreboard.
And this is how ult snowballs happen.
Definitely so. Lose pistol, win the follow-up when you're on the attack side.
God, this is dangerous.
Very dangerous, but that's utilized to the hand by Koala Noob. Not quite a gun at hand. Maybe a rifle could have done a bit more.
Hey, they missed the timing on that, didn't they? Tex would have been a sitting duck had they picked a slightly earlier timing to go. Maybe they weren't expecting Tex to be so bold.
Bit of clearance onto the side.
Planted.
Double flank in the retake too.
Yeah.
But Nerve's only got a Bucky. Tough to make something happen from there.
He's looking to hold down that hookah control.
MIBR might be thinking about maximizing ultimates.
Probably should be at this point. TP. Okay. That's Vass. Didn't expect Nerve though with that position. Taken up. Still. Zeno should really be the one going hunting here. He's one away.
Or Zekken.
Yeah.
2 away. And I think the Yori Welt is something you can design around. Easily.
Okay. Mazzino's death.
It's actually all planned. It gets the ult online.
The ult, all good. So MIBR straight back into things here, only trailing by the 1 round.
And I think this is what happens when you play against a team like this. It feels like Fury have been playing a lights-out game. And yet, you know, a little slip-up in round 14, and suddenly MIBR are in an opportunity where they can run away with things.
Yeah, give him an inch and they'll take a mile.
It is good that Zekken is 2 away from his ultimate from Furia's perspective, because he can't just grab an ult orb and run away with things. Figure out what your exact defensive setup is, set up somebody to be able to get a kill. But I'm looking at the combo of the C's into orbital strike, because MIBR was so good with that on their defense side.
This is interesting. Furia put down a very deep smoke into showers. Koalanu even just letting loose a spray of bullets.
Alim's on an off angle here, but a safer off angle, waiting for Aspas to peek in. Although taking a more aggressive little line there for a moment. It's a cautious approach.
It's really cautious. I mean, the spike's not in any of their hands.
It has been for both teams. Bind has really slowed down this year. And this is without the operator, without the chamber. Zekken picks up an ult orb, but he's still 1 away.
Yeah,
I don't think they're going to go all the way back to B long.
Well,
hold on.
As you say that.
No shot.
Well, that's ensuring that there's no deep push out towards sand.
I mean, they've got 50 seconds, but they don't actually control B long.
It's going to be tough. Especially with the util that hasn't been burnt out. I mean, Artin is on the B site with a molly. Nerve's got a snake bite.
They have the Viper orb over here, so they can take B long pretty easily.
Alim. Right here, it's a tricky one, but he just takes the same fight, same angle that Aspas did prior on the other half.
This is a really late hit.
It is, and this is where it gets really awkward. On Bind, if you don't pull out this prior util, this is where the troubles start mounting. Molly to replace the snake bite. There's plenty of fuel in the tank. That wall's going to be going up as soon as the smoke fades. Time is of the essence. 12 seconds left. Orbital strike. They want to send it. MIBR trying to go into this one, but they're going into a blender. Straight into the maw. It's raw individualism. That's what's going to try and lay you out. They don't have time, do they?
I think they just got it.
It was barely there. Extension here. Zekken finds it. Plant down. 2v2 now for them. Koala Noob trying to announce himself onto the stage, but Zekken's just a little bit too sharp. EU shots through the box. Got a tuck now, Zekken. Free haircut in the process. Barely alive, and it's essential that he stays that. Verno crouched up. And if Verno didn't secure it, Zekken would have just swinging off the back of it. 8-8 off that. That looked dire.
That was so squeaky.
MIBR.
No, it was crazy. They planted with 4.2 seconds, I think it was.
Insane.
Anything going wrong in that round, and it's a nightmare. Here's Zekken TPing into the end of the orbital strike. Really lovely way of being able to utilize that without needing the dimensional drift online.
Yeah.
Because they didn't play for the second ult.
Brother, that was a funny round. That was a funny round, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny if you win.
Yeah.
You can laugh about it if you win. You're crying if you lose, I think. 4 Buckies?
Okay.
I mean, I know it's a Bucky meta, but...
It's a scope meta. You were telling me?
Well, it's
scope down Bucky, can it be both?
Don't be buying the Buckies on full buy rounds, for sure. But, I mean, when you're in a light buy, the Bucky is still pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But this is more opportunity for MIBR to snowball. If they can avoid running into the Buckies, which I wouldn't even mind Zekken burning his ult in this round.
How do you avoid running into the Buckies when there's 4 of them on bind?
Well, I think it might come down to Zekken being forced to pop his ultimate. But it depends how they navigate around the map.
Still willing to contact when they feel like they can.
That's a peek short from Alim. Looking maybe just for a little bit of information or trying to make it feel like he's not tucked in the corner hiding somewhere.
What's that? 1 Bucky gone. 3 more to go. Steadily looking to walk up and take a bit of this space, but again, you have to be very controlled. Now, there's only 38 seconds left.
I think when you look at where players are positioned on defense, though, this shouldn't be a threat.
No, surely not, right?
You can play inside of this smoke that's just been put down.
Yep, lay it down, flash forwards. Okay. Zekken knows what's up.
It's a third of the price, and it's still getting the job done.
That's good work. Plan down now for MIBR. Might donated a couple of freebies. The trade wasn't there in time. A lot of damage done, though, and I know that Lamp's compromised. Aspas. One shot going slightly wide, just being jiggled out, pulled out here. But for Furia, your chances of winning a round quite limited unless Koala Noob can get something done. Hell of a timing that he could have capitalized off, but it's Tex just about gets on top of it, in control of the situation. Time now ticking at this point for Furia. Not a round that they can play for.
No, it's not. And I think your attention has got to go now to the next round where huge ultimates are going to be getting
look at it.
And I think it's very predictable here that Furia would want to go... All right, fair enough. It's very predictable here that Furia would want to go for a Viper's Pit. So I think in MIBR's head, you're setting up maybe to do something fast for the first time on your attack side. All of these rounds, basically for both teams, have been very, very slow, right? But this is one of those rounds where you could just rip Yoru really fast down short and try to get a punish onto Nerve, who you expect is going to be playing a Viper's Pit in that position. So I think changing up the tempo here could be a really nice shift around. But actually, Nerve not going for it, and MIBR not going for it here. Are they going to be putting the pit over towards B-Long, maybe?
There's potential for it.
Just a more cautious approach, I think. Maybe even using it reactively.
Dimensional drift. He's going to be using it to clear away forwards. Back over towards B, though. Bit of a bait and switch, looking to see if they can force rotations. And there's still players waiting over towards A. I think Aspas has heard it.
Pure
footsteps.
fake.
Yeah, footsteps scurrying.
Forced out the pit.
Down. Yeah, that's just to reinforce a hit that is not coming. Texto, barely there in time. There's a lot of damage done. Alan couldn't confirm the kill. Highlight with that haunt, and Rocket flying forwards. Didn't find a mark. It was a bullet first that connected. Deep plant down now. And a 2-player advantage for MIBR in this one.
I think this is one of the spots where you have to consider saving.
Yeah, with the operator, good luck.
Yeah, you're in a 3v5. You forced out some big ultimates, so you could take that as a bit of a silver lining. But like you said, you've got the op.
Yeah.
And you've got no good positioning at all. Really elaborate round from Verno there, in terms of how they called that. Zekken goes for a fake A into B Yoru ult, but after he sees a couple of players, they just force out the pit on B and the actual pack goes over towards A. Maybe they were trying to go away from the Viper. Could have been just a direct audible comm from Zekken on his ult. But they nicely got into a weak A site there.
It's a very nice twist on the normal fake that you do with the dimensional drift, right?
Yeah, normally the second site that you go towards is going to be the one you finish.
Yeah, exactly.
But they twist that here.
They go to the other side instead. Timeout now. Last one here for Furia.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, because, I mean, look at the string of rounds that MIBR managed to accrue.
They're pretty stuck. Yeah, 5 rounds in a row. It's really rough. And I think at least a decent proportion of that can be put down to an ult snowball that started due to the Outlaw being forced up in round 14 and getting that value down B long really early. And that was Aspas having his impact still at the bottom of the scoreboard at the moment, but maybe with the power of hindsight, making the crucial play that pivoted this in MIBR's favor. Furia desperately needs something to shake up the tempo of this game, though. I think the slow chokehold that MIBR are going for is proving very difficult for this double duelist comp. I know Furia themselves were slow on their attack side, but I think you've got to mix up the pace a little bit. Maybe get some early peaks from Koalanu, try to get the op into play.
Yeah.
It's all well and good having the op lock somewhere down and still provide you informational value. That's still good, but in a game like this, you actually do need to have your star players pop off.
Yeah, unfortunate when it happens.
Yeah. But at least Artazine dies, you know what I mean?
You can
It's a
the kill.
It's a 5v3 at that point, isn't it? Even though Aspas doesn't quite get the value from his ult. Artazine has been getting bullied. He's been a player that otherwise has been performing excellently throughout kickoff for Furia. Would be a bad time to go missing in the qualification game. But it's early doors yet in the BO5. And this is the round that could get Furia back in.
It's crazy. Furia have 4 players over towards B.
Big stack early. Haunt double dash down. They know it's not B now.
Face your fear.
A lot of that pressure from that util. 9-4. Makes his way forward. TP up towards default as well. So Zekin's securing up a lot of that space. They know it's clear. There was no pings from the ult. Again, forcing potential for the retake. Furia, though, at least holding on towards that backside control, looking to see if they can get their grip onto it, but the fight's just not going their way. Not at all. It's MIBR lighting up the feed in their name.
Spike planted.
That's the risk you take, man, when you go for that kind of play. 4-player stack on B, and it's a really early timing to clear it out. They know that it is not B in that moment, but as the rotates come through to A, you just gave up all of that positioning. And Aspas is on top of truck before you can react. Flash into backside from Zekin, and you're overwhelmed. Furia themselves ran a pretty similar round, but currently getting whacked by the same stuff, and Koala Noob's op can find no value.
Yeah, it's the nature of it. Furia, obviously relying and playing around Koala Noob, his proficiency with the Outlaw, the Operator, so much in kickoff so far, but
they've also been running faster rounds since he got the op online.
Yeah.
You take a look at the economy, and when can Koala Noob buy an op? All right, that's when we're running faster plays based off either ultimates or in this round, just kind of sending it.
Right.
I mean, there was an ult in play, but it was mostly just a short pop. And so, MIBR, they've got a great read on how they want to play here. On a map that they were able to hide for the whole of kickoff. Remember that, because that is going to be relevant on future maps too. When we're looking forward to Haven, for example.
Oh yeah.
MIBR being able to hide both of those maps. And Pearl, but they decided first round ban that.
That's the scary thing about MIBR. You really don't know where the ceiling is, the peak, quite yet.
No, you've only seen them play 5 maps. How could you?
Exactly, but also they had their own challenges in kickoff. They weren't able to get proper practice in there at the beginning, so...
Yeah, you might not have even seen them in scrims.
Yeah. And every win that MIBR have got gave them more and more time to make sure that they can put it all together. Oh, second!
That's incredible. He's like a ballerina. He's pirouetted through and found 2.
Connects the dots there. Heads popped off. Low as anything, but he's still willing to be aggro and just take the fights to them. Make him bleed, make him hurt, and that is a little bit too aggressive. A little bit too greedy, perhaps.
It's got style, though. It's got style.
2v4, Alum and Ardsin pressed into such a hard position. You have ults, but you need kills to want to use them. Orbital Strike is going to be pulled out.
There's a Molly lineup here as well.
It's just filthy. We've already seen enough cringe Valorant from that last game. There's the Molly sailing over, and Artisan knows already. No real chances in a round like this. 12 rounds now for MIBR.
Match point.
Every round on attack side basically has been by the book for MIBR. That one, though, had a lot of style to it. Look at this entry from the second. Swings through, grabs onto EU, and then resetting his aim.
Yeah, he's not getting away with that.
It's tough for Furia, though. Their players have been in spots where they've been forced to save. They do have money to be able to go for a final buy, but this is now 7 rounds in a row that they've lost.
It's tough.
Be right back.
MIBR just completely ran away with it on the attack side. Squaring up. for a bit of a fight, a bit of a scrap. Alim's here. Refract catches the contact. Sees where Zekken's playing.
Decoy.
It's held off. Artisan, I believe, was holding his orbital strike for potentially a play. No real signs of life beyond what Zekken was doing.
I mean, I think they might be going for a seize with the Brimalt in short if that had been a timing for the A-pop.
Sure.
They're trying to get used to that faster pace that MIBR has been going at, and yet, right at the finish line, here Verno slows things down again. I think it's been really tough for Odzine to get a read of his former team here. They've changed so much.
Yeah, these are the things as well that you're going to get when you play against a team like MIBR. A lot of teams get to 12, and they're like
cutting through.
A dog chasing a car, essentially, just trying to get that final round over the line.
Mark 2.
And they rush into things, they make mistakes, but pure composure by MIBR. They are happy to whittle you down bit by bit. Ticking forward, shot still firing. Tex! Oh, it's disgusting, man. Deep hit into the back of the site now. Good luck getting past that one in a 2v5. This is looking like map 1 is going to be wrapped up nice and pretty. All for MIBR now. Plant down.
Planted.
No problem. Squalanuva's got a heavy, heavy load on his plate and can't get rid of it.
And Nerve is sat here wondering what's gone wrong for them in this half because they haven't had a hold.
Wow. Attackers win.
MIBR absolutely stormed the castle with that one. Every attack side round